Hi, my name is Louise Kringelum.
And I'm Dennis Jim Frederickson, and we're from Aalborg University.
And we're here to present to you our paper in Journal of Critical Realism that's called 5 Potentials of Critical Realism in Management and Organization Studies.
Basically, what we wanted to do with our paper was to make it easier for especially early career researchers to apply critical realism to organizations and management.
We did so by reviewing 26 papers that are currently applying it in their studies and see which levers did they use, how did they focus on organizations, and how did they use the paradigm to create more explanatory value in their research. So in reading these case studies, we found that they built this bridge from the philosophical foundation of critical realism over to the study of organizations and management.
We tried to summarize these different detailed applications, these 5 different ways or 5 different potentials of applying critical realism to the study of management and organizations. The first potential we found shows how you can actually use critical realism to narrow down what part of an organization you want to focus your study on. So organizations and management practices can be complex and can be studied from a lot of different angles, but using critical realism, you're actually helped in figuring out what part to focus on.
The second potential shows you how we can use critical realism to define the structures, the actors, and also the role of time throughout such a study, because they'll have different interplays and there'll be a dualism that we need to unfold.
And the third one has to do with how you can, again, if you're studying an organization that's a pretty complex phenomenon, you can look at it from different perspectives with different types of data. And when you do that, basing yourself on critical realism, you can reach conclusions that you couldn't get just looking from one vantage point, from one empirical perspective.
The fourth potential helps us to focus on us as researchers. What is our role in collecting data? How do we interpret it? And how do we remain epistemologically modest when we go about collecting data and analyzing it? Because we need to be aware of this role. In the fifth potential, we show you how critical realism doesn't just help you add knowledge and value to the single organizational case you're studying, but also can extend beyond this case study to new ways of thinking in management and organizational theory.
As you can maybe hear, these 5 potentials are quite different, and they address pretty different aspects of how you would study an organization or a management practice of some sort.
And that's why we conclude the paper by discussing how you can use various potentials in your study depending on your context or your subject area, because we need to be aware of when we use each potential. Hopefully our paper can help you in that journey.